Hello, and welcome to another episode of Long Distance Situationship. I'm Michael, joined as always by Dan Cakes and Syrup, and hi Kyle. How we doing, boys?
I'm very good. How you doing, Mike?
I am great. Happy New Year. It was a bummer, Kyle, not to see you during New Year's. Dan and I rang it in together, but what'd you do? How was the experience for you?
I spent New Year's with my girlfriend's family out in Boston. They live an hour outside of Boston in Plymouth, which is a crazy coincidence because we grew up in Plymouth, Michigan, and she grew up in Plymouth, Massachusetts. And like they were super worried about us like going out somewhere and dealing with drunk drivers and stuff. So I rang in the new year about playing Scrabble with her and her dad. We played like 3 games in a row. And it was without a fraction of a doubt the most mellow old man New Year's Eve I've ever had. It blew my mind. I didn't even think about it until all of a sudden the ball dropped. And we did watch it, but I was like, this is the first time I'm not surrounded by like a horde of drunk people who were all screaming and like blowing kazoos and throwing confetti and kissing each other. I am here playing Scrabble like with my girlfriend and her father. It was pleasant, but like I need to do better next year. No offense to them, but like that is not the way to kick off the year. Cause like, the year happens and then we go sit down and it's like, oh, friendly, nice word. Next. Oh, it was brutal. But good times. What did you guys do?
So we went over to our friend Sophia and Alex's house. Keep an eye out for Sophia. We're trying to figure out. Sophia's one of those people where you're like, you're going to be on the pod. We don't have a clue what we're going to talk about, but you're going to be on the pod.
Make it work.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're working on stuff with that. But yeah, we went over there. We hung out. It snowed like crazy.
Wow.
So the numbers kind of dwindled. So there were like 15 of us. Really chill. Played some games. Had a few drinks. Nothing too insane. Did have a weird run-in though at the liquor store on the way in. It was bizarre. So there's a lady in front of us, and Dan and I are waiting to pay, and the guy, I don't know what it was. I couldn't understand him on his first run through. He was like, and I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, the lady, she said it's dangerous. I was like, yeah, it's New Year's. He was like, no, they're shooting already. And I was like, he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, man, we just drove the whole way here. I didn't hear anything pop off. I think it's probably okay. He was like, oh, all right. Like,
oh my God.
Like, I swear, it felt like the guy had a sleeping bag behind the counter there. Like, he was not looking to leave.
This is the guy at the counter?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And we walked out the door and literally I'm 3 steps out and I just hear, and I was like, I'm going to go with firework. That was a firework.
Wow, his prediction came true, dude.
We scurried on over to Sophia's.
Yeah.
Although honestly, like the snow was probably the craziest part of that night because me and Mike went out on the road, and I swear, man, it's like we were heading out on the 9 mile, and it was like jumping into light speed.
Whoa!
All the snow coming up the windshield. You're like, fuck, I can't see the car in front of me. My back end is spinning, going on a straight. I'm like, oh, okay. And then as soon as we get to Sophia's house, like I put the car in park, I stop, I get out, dead stop of the snow, and I'm like, I fucking hate the state of Michigan. Man.
Wow. I do got to say, coming off of that, when we drove from Michigan to Boston, we got hit with a snowstorm while in the Pennsylvania mountains. And so we were experiencing that same thing of like that light speed effect. We were deep in the mountains, so plow trucks were not out there yet, and nothing was salted. So there was a layer of ice on the ground and about 3 inches of snow on top of that. And we're in Kayleen's little Kia Rio, which was not made for like snowy conditions. And it's the scariest driving I've ever done in my life. Like I was driving and we were sliding all over the place, and it's dark. So all you see at the edge of the road is like, oh, it's a cliff. I don't know how far we're falling, but it ain't going to be pretty if we slide off this road. and trucks were driving by, and they were like, the trucks were cooking. They're used to this stuff, but they're kicking up all this snow and burying our car in snow while we're driving, like, because they're just kicking up all this slush and stuff. So we had to pull off and like go to the sketchiest little hotel that we could find. So, like, it was one of those dead, like, I was the perfect setup for a horror movie. We're rolling up to a hotel, snowy night. I was like, babe, this is how everybody gets killed in a horror movie, is this scene right here. Like, creepy clerk and everything. Like, oh, what are you guys up to tonight? Like, oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. But we survived. We survived. Those Mid-Eastern roads, man, they go crazy. Midwest, yeah. Mid-East, Jesus.
Mid-Eastern.
It almost came out Middle Eastern, too. Those Middle Eastern roads will kill you, bro.
But different topic.
Different
We'll save it for the political episode.
So anyway, shall we begin?
Yeah, getting right off that topic. See you in just a minute. Stranger Things is it's done. It's over. And I mean, the internet has some big thoughts. And Dan, I'm curious to hear. Well, I'm curious to hear from both of you, but we'll start with Dan. What do you got? What's your takeaway
from that last episode? It was crazy safe, but that's not to say that I didn't enjoy it. Like, I liked watching it. I like watching it wrap up. And honestly, like, I gotta say, like, I thought the last 15 minutes or so were actually really well done, because I'm sitting there watching the scenes with both the adult four and then the original group sitting in the basement.
Raging spoilers, just in case.
Oh yeah, don't watch this if you haven't seen it, but you're too late now. Anywho, I'm sitting there watching those two scenes with my parents because we were watching it together, and I swear, man, I was about to cry. I'm like, dude, I'm sitting there thinking about my own friend group when we were kids and watching it on the screen. I'm like, man, there's such a similarity here of being able to see, like, growing up and knowing that you won't see these people again. You're like, damn. And my parents are like, yeah, that was a pretty good ending, right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm good, guys. I'm gonna go play video games in my room by myself with the door locked and the lights off. Yeah, those last 15 minutes I was a big fan of it, and the whole rest of it, you know, the mind flare. I get the whole thing of making it a spider, but I was like, okay, I feel like I'm watching a Godzilla movie at one point. All in all, I thought it was okay. Like, good, probably like a 7 if I had to put a number on it.
It's what you want out of, like, what was once the best show ever to exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only saw it last night, so I'm still. It's funny, like, I've been having a hard time processing how I feel about it, because I don't think I necessarily dislike what they did. I think I dislike that that's all they did. I felt like I was lacking, like, you know, the show was ending and I was like, why do I feel like I've barely seen Hopper this season, or Joyce, or, like, I feel like a lot of these characters didn't really get to have an arc whatsoever. It's kind of like they just existed. I was pretty disappointed in everybody I knew, yet a whole third of the show went to Holly Wheeler, who's a brand new character. Like, and it's like I was processing that there were some moments that I thought were spectacular. But at the end of the day, I just felt so disappointed that they couldn't bring it home with bigger energy and, like, closure for all the characters as a whole. I do agree with you, Dan, that, like, the last 15 minutes I thought was a stellar wrap to the show as a whole. Dustin's speech, amazing. The last D&D session, amazing. The passing of the torch to the next generation, amazing. I've never wanted to play D&D more in my life than watching the little kids come down and continue to play. But I just, like, I don't know. When you look at how season 4 ended, season 4 was such a bonkers, extraordinary ending. And this really just felt like they kind of phoned it in, despite having some incredibly stunning moments. It did feel very phoned in, and I was very disappointed with the delivery for how they handled a lot of these characters, the characters that we know and love the most. Yeah, Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. I think as it was, I think it took a less than middling season as a whole for me and dragged it up to being okay. You know, going into the episode, I was like, I need at least 2 people from season 1 dead, or this thing is a failure. And that did not happen. And the one person that died, that was, I'm sorry, like my entire life is trying to come up with twists and thinking about twists. I'm a big twist guy, but like, come on, that she just happened to get past the entire military all the way over.
She was made invisible though, wasn't she?
Yeah, but we didn't know that. Like, what they were trying to sell to us at the very beginning was somehow she got all the way to the gate without anyone noticing. The one person that the military is after somehow just managed to fucking put her on a cardboard box and solid snake her way all the way to the
She was invisible.
Yeah, but they don't tell you she's invisible. All we're supposed to believe is that she snuck off. And we know that she was invisible. I'm not saying I have a problem with the final story. I'm just saying it was so obvious that she was getting help from Katie 8. In my opinion, I was like, no way, she's not dead. That's not even her. And we'll get into some of the more granular details, but it's not even it doesn't even make sense. Like from a she should have disappeared the second 8 died. And 8 definitely died well before she gets wiped away, before her vision cast gets it doesn't make like that. Functionally the plan doesn't even work. And yeah, I didn't buy that she was dead for a second. I thought it was a little predictable. So safe is the word. I was so frustrated that they saved everybody, that we go and we fight this kaiju monster that actually, I really liked the twist of it hasn't been Vecna the whole time. Cause I'm sorry, I don't buy and never was gonna buy that it's been Vecna and Vecna was planned from season 1. Bullshit. It was Vecna the whole time. And it was really nice for them to be like, okay, it was the mind flayer the whole time. He's just been using Vecna. I was like, great, I can live with that. So there were certain elements that I really enjoyed. I thought that it fixed the continuity such as it was. But it came with a host of plot holes. The internet's really done. All of my favorite creators have basically like already tapped into my brain and written their scripts. It's kind of frustrating how little new I have to say. But yeah, I was disappointed. This is the show that got me to play D&D. D&D is the thing that got me into writing. And so it's really heavy for me that it's over. And it sucks that it kind of went out with a whimper and not a bang. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, 8 out of 10.
Well, the series. At this point, it's taken Stranger Things as a whole to 8 out of 10 for me.
I gotcha. And I mean, I just wanted to talk more about Vecna since you were bringing him up. I actually really liked what they did of making Henry just another victim here. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, he was just an innocent kid that got wrapped up in something that was way beyond him. He shouldn't have been where he was. It was a wrong place, wrong time thing. And, you know, I also like that they didn't just go the really cliche route of having like a Darth Vader moment where Henry turns on the Mind Flayer. Mm-hmm. Instead, they're like, you know what? I'm too far gone. I'm already so far into this that I am fully bought in and I'm not going to give up on it. And I could respect that. I'm like, okay, like, you know, Vecna is truly Vecna. Henry is gone. So I really enjoyed that part of it. But at the same time, I kind of wish they would have spent more time on it because I feel like that arc closing was, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
If even that. So, like, it was cool to finally see it, and they'd been teasing it the entire season, building up that scene in the mine where he finds that rock. And that was it. And I'm like, okay, I like what you did, but I kind of wish
you get a plane ticket. Got to go to New York.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you got to watch
Broadway.
That like 6 people watched.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's another interesting thing. Like, why... I get that there was a play that was made and then it was said to be canon and they included elements from the play into the show. But I'm like, I feel like that really shrinks down the ability for people to actually enjoy it if only like 20 people have seen it. Like, I don't
Truly. So the big thing that like keeps weighing on me is I really appreciate that every season of this show has felt very different and has had a different identity. And season 5 really took on this whole multiple worlds, bigger fantasy, Wrinkle in Time kind of identity. And I liked that it was such a bold choice. I liked having a whole new world to explore. I thought that was a fun element, but I felt like it became different in all the wrong ways too. I felt like we had lost a lot of the heart and connection that a lot of these characters had. We were so split up in the last season. And now that all these characters came back together, there wasn't like you were missing all that chemistry and all that love. A lot of characters who have had crazy arcs this whole show were one-noted this season. I mean, Winona Ryder has the same conversation with Will Byers, like 4 times. Hopper has the same exact conversation with Eleven, like 5-6 times. Eleven was not. I didn't think she was likable at all. Lip job aside, the puffy lips destroyed it for me because Kaylee, and also she couldn't stop talking about it. Every time Eleven would do anything, Kaylee would be like she was doing, and it destroys the character. And Eleven was just kind of a bitch. Like this is, I mean, and I just rewatched the whole show. Season 1, her performance stellar. The range that this kid had, that Millie Bobby Brown had in seasons 1, 2, and 3 is incredible. And in this season, it's like she's just one note the whole time. And so it's like we're missing all this like depth to the characters that we now know and love. And that really it really bothers me because I applaud them for, I'm always like championing shows and movies that take chances and do stuff that's different. And they really push the boundaries on what Stranger Things could be. But in doing that, they also took away everything that Stranger Things is supposed to be. And which is, it's about the characters and the heart and all that. And I feel like that was really lacking, and that, it really bothered me. It bothered me that Nance didn't end up with anybody. And like, just because all season, it's been this love triangle of will they, won't they, and then it's like, well, it's nobody. That's just the way it is. Go fuck yourselves. Excuse me. But like, and it's, I don't know. And I get that there's the argument of like, well, in real life, relationships like that don't typically work out. It's not real life. It's a fucking fantasy show. And like, give me a happy ending after watching it for seasons. And so those characters, man, they weren't the characters that I knew and loved. They were very different and very lacking. And that really bothered me.
Yeah. Spoilers for Ted Lasso. I'm not sure if Kyle's seen it. Have you finished Ted Lasso?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't like that Kaylee didn't end up with anybody.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And I felt like it was the same thing. The difference is I at least felt like they set Nancy up well throughout the season to like on this like journey of just being she just needs herself, Yeah. Like she was set up on the strong independent woman arc, and it's not my favorite arc. I'm a romantic at heart, and I'd rather see everybody like I want to see some characters end up together. I feel you on that. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, we're walking into battle, and Nancy's a freaking human tank. Like she's War Machine light, and Jonathan and Steve have sticks with knives duct taped to the end. Like she's clearly set up visually to be like, it's me, it's Nancy, I don't need anybody, I'm doing life on my own.
Female Rambo,
yeah. So whether or not you like that, I felt like they I think they foreshadowed that well enough. But I'm with you. The characters totally got lost, and I'm tempted to blame it on the writing. Like I don't necessarily think that Joe, I can't remember his last name, the guy who plays Steve. Like I don't think the guy who plays Steve, I don't think he's gotten worse at acting. I thought in the moments that he was given good stuff, he was great. Dustin, him and Dustin, when they have that confrontation in the stairwell and that scene with the ladder where it's like, I can't lose you too. That broke my heart. That was that was so raw and so real. And so like in the rare moments that the writing allowed for it, I think the acting was awesome. And so it's just, I spent a lot of time thinking about that today. I think that the writing ultimately is what absolutely assassinated this season. They didn't give a lot of the characters anything to work with. I thought Hopper was less of a sin than Joy. Joy, I felt like to call her one note is almost generous. Whereas at least Hopper, you kind of saw him wrestle and finally learn to let Elle go and be an adult. And you wish that she had been better about learning to respect him as a father, and so you could have had this mutually satisfying conclusion to their arcs instead of like you said, Elle was. I get it, the frustration of being constantly held down and expected to be a child when you're literally the most powerful being on the team, if not
the planet
out there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think she was more powerful than the Mind Flayer. She needed all her friends to beat the Mind Flayer, but she's like a top 5 being in existence. Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
I got to imagine that's incredibly frustrating, but it wasn't written in a way where the character's sympathetic. She never saved a cat. Like, I didn't like her. And so I'm with you. And it's a bother. And the writing, I think the writing really, really let him down.
I don't know. Do you guys feel that there was a disconnect between Robin in season 3 and Robin in season 5? I feel they're very, very different characters.
3 and 5 or 4 and 5?
I mean, you can include 4 in there too. Because that maybe 5. 5 was the first time I've really noticed it, where I'm like, this genuinely feels like a different person talking. And it could just be that they're trying to illustrate that time has passed and like this is like a growth thing. But it just was enough for me that it was jarring, and I couldn't enjoy Robin's character as much as I did. Like, I thought Robin was a great character in season 3. I thought she was funny. I thought that her lines were all great, honestly. And she just had great chemistry with Steve's character, or Steve. And I don't know, I couldn't feel it this season. It felt like she was always on the run and confused. It's 2 things that I got from her this whole season. And maybe that was just me, but I was a little disappointed with that.
I did take that as like seeing the culmination of Robin coming out of her shell and into her own confidence, because she was definitely much more of she was making her own choices. She was jumping into the fray. She was running around all the time because she was finally in a decision-making position and kind of running faster than she could keep up with. And so personally, I recognize that she's a very different character than she was in season 3, and independent of Steve, because I really liked that it was her and Steve side by side all the time. But I think I appreciated that we were seeing a side of her we'd never seen because she was finally taking chances and making choices for herself. I wanna ask how you guys feel about the 11's ending, where you find out that she's off in Norway or something. Because personally, I think it really frustrated me that she faked her own death and then didn't go find Mike or something. I don't know why she had to go without him. She could have had her best friend with her on whatever adventure, but instead she just is out there to be the lone superhero traveler. I don't know. I didn't necessarily like that ending for her, but I want to know what you guys thought about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't give it a ton of thought, to be totally honest with you. I found the whole thing to be, I was more so yelling at my phone and being like, well, yeah, obviously she's alive. That was my big takeaway with the whole thing. But not to rehash that. I don't know. I think she had to be alone functionally. Because the government still wants her. And if Mike just disappeared to Iceland, big old red flag. Wait, hold on. Wheeler's just gone to another country. Let's track him down. What other reason does he have to fall off the map? So I think functionally it makes sense. It's something that on a nuts and bolts level had to happen, but it is unsatisfying from a story perspective.
Yeah, I mean, story perspective, I agree with a lot of points Mike said. It kind of had to happen, but I also just kind of get frustrated by it at the same time, knowing that it makes sense, but at the same time knowing that she doesn't get the ending that a lot of people thought she would get, the happy ending, because she's literally been on the run, something's been trying to kill her, or she's been imprisoned for literally 10 years. So to see her have to go live on her own in a completely foreign country with no friends, no contact, nothing, kind of sucks. But at the same time, like Mike was saying, I get it. There's a reason for it and it makes sense. But from a practical standpoint, I also think Netflix did this so that in 10 years they can just be like, hey, let's do a reunion movie.
I hate it. But you know it's going to happen, boys. They're going to bring back the whole cast. Oh. All right. So I do want to ask, because I do want to get to talking about the season or the series as a whole and kind of broader thoughts. But were there any other high points of this season for you guys? Anything that you thought was done particularly well or efficient? I know we're talking about a lot of the negatives, but I want to point out, like, you know, I thought the Nancy Jonathan breakup scene was incredible. I sobbed my fucking eyes out. It was such a raw, like, breakup. We've seen these characters kind of be on and off for many, many seasons, and to see them end like that in the face of dying, I thought it was a beautiful scene. It was one of the highlights of the season. I thought the actress who played Holly Wheeler was fantastic. I actually was like, for child actors, like, I didn't like that they gave her so much screen time because she was a new inclusion and all of a sudden the main character of the show. But I did think that she carried the screen very well. For being like the newcomer to the show. Oh, and the fat kid. I can't remember his name, but he was the best.
Derek.
Suck my fat one.
It's Derek.
Have you seen the Wheel of Fortune meme where it's Derek and he's like, I'd like to solve the puzzle?
Is it suck my fat one?
Well, probably.
Probably, yeah. That's
Devin's
hilarious.
Yeah, I got to agree. She was fantastic. I was actually willing to accept Holly dying instead of one of my two. Like, when she was falling, I was like, oh, well done, boys. Like, you have absolutely ripped my heart out. Oh, she got yo-yoed back up. All right. But like,
fuck you for not killing that child.
Literally, I'm a freaking. I also didn't cry at any point, so maybe I'm just a sociopath. I don't know.
We're aware of this. It's old news. Yeah. Carry on though. Sorry.
All I do is just sit around and like kill kids with keyboards. I'm an author.
Exactly. I'll write my own story.
I gotta. Never mind. But no, she was great, and it is frustrating because when you think about it, it's like, hey, I promise I'll try to get back to positive as quick as possible.
Go, you're good.
I wanted them to be on their back foot and be like Vecna to be hammering down on them the whole time, and for them to be fighting back instead of like resetting to the beginning of a season status quo again. That irked me, and I feel like if you got rid of Holly's whole thing and this thing with the 12 kids that could have been done a million other ways, you free up, one, a lot of screen time, two, a lot of room for characters to like other characters could, but I gotta agree that like this girl is gonna get her chance now and she deserves it, and it's almost like it's almost as good. It's not as good. It's nowhere near as good as Millie Bobby Brown's performance in season 1, but it's incredible. And it, you know, to say it's not, I mean, that might have been the best child actress performance ever in season 1. This one was fantastic, and it's great to see this young actress. She's gonna get a shot. She's gonna go and she's gonna do things now because this show gave her that opportunity. So that's
Absolutely.
awesome. I loved Vecna's death scene, like the impaling on the giant tooth spike thing, and like my favorite moment in literature, I don't even mind it that much in film, is when Molly Weasley kills Bellatrix Lestrange. Not my daughter, you bitch. It's the best. It's my favorite moment that's ever been put on paper. And it doesn't come close, but it's reminiscent. You know, her just hacking away and the flash of all the, like, you know, the quick cuts of all the pain that Vecna's caused. It was good. It was cathartic. It was really, really well done. And also, I thought the monster looked super cool. I have a lot of complaints and functional problems with it, but just the monster itself was badass.
Yeah,
Also,
I mean,
I'm so sorry. Last thing. I really disliked in the first episode having Jonathan and Steve race up the stupid tower and be all macho competitive. And when they then circle it back to we can climb the tower, all of a sudden I was like, that was brilliant. This thing that just kind of annoyed me and I didn't need was such fun foreshadowing for what the tower was going to be used for. I'm a little annoyed I didn't catch it.
Well, I do got to add, and then Dan, I'll let you take it away. I did.
No,
I had the thought in the shower today. I was like, oh, they could have just waited till the other planet had stopped and then climbed up the tower instead of being at the peak point. I was like, they really hold on. They went to the point that would be closest to death first instead of waiting to see how long it would take. Like, That, and I understand it makes for good cinema, but it would have been a much better plan to just fucking wait a second and then climb the ladder once you know how close it is. And there's a lot more margin
It
for
might
error
have knocked
there.
the whole thing down. You never know. The whole thing could have collapsed.
Okay, that is fair. That is fair.
There's
Good,
at least
good point. Good
you can
point.
make an argument.
Yep, I see it.
But okay, Dan.
I like
Floor
it.
is
Yep.
yours.
Yeah, I mean, like the positives. Like I kind of touched on it earlier. I thought the epilogue was beautiful, man. Like it's very rare that I walk away from something actually feeling fucked up. Like I'm like, oh my god. I had to think about it for like a couple hours after that. I'm like, wow, this is done, and that was like beautifully closed. But other things that I really liked Dustin in this season. I mean, like you could really tell that what happened to Eddie left a lasting impact on him. You could see how like the way he dresses, the way he carries himself, like it's all in homage to Eddie. Like the first person who really like, yeah, I mean, Steve saw Dustin and was friends with Dustin, but I would say Eddie was really the first guy who like actually connected with him on the same like wavelength, if you guys know what I mean. So there was some resonation there. And I really liked when they graduated. It was a callback to season 4
Yes.
with the Hellfire and then ripping the diploma out of the principal's hands and then flipping the bird, just like Eddie said he would do. But he never got to because he died.
Wow.
And I'm like, that was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I really got a kick out of that. So, but also echoing, like, really liked Holly, the Vecna scene, like, you know, flashing back to everybody that got hurt. And I think Billy was even included in there. As much as people, like, are mixed on Billy, I always thought, like, you know, yeah, he was kind of a douche, but he didn't deserve that. So it was good that he got a mention in there, too. But overall, yeah.
So looking back on the entire journey of Stranger Things, fellas, I mean, Mike, you kind of give an 8 out of 10. I guess I just want to know, like, in reflection, in memoriam of the show as a whole, what are your thoughts? What are your remarks? You're going to come back and watch it again? You're going to show your kids one day? Like, where are you at with Stranger Things as a whole right now? And following that, do you want to see more? Because there's an animated show coming out. I'm hearing rumors of like a spin-off with like new characters or something. And like we talked about, they're likely going to do a Stranger Things reunion show like in 10 years. But I just want to know where you guys' heads are at for the show as a whole right now and what you want to see in the future. Mike?
Yeah, man. I'm actually, the idea of a show set in the Stranger Things world, not following this core group of characters, second seatbelt, dude. Like, I'm so here for it. I love the world. I love the aesthetics. I love what the Duffer Brothers do. I love the music. Like, even if the Duffer Brothers aren't involved, if we get good writers for it, bring it on. I'm all about it. I'll check out the animated show. I'm not like, I gotta see this, but I'm here for it. So, and I don't need another, I do not need a story with Elle in 10 years. Please, please, please. They're gonna do it, but I don't need it. And frankly, you could almost release that next year and be like, hey, look, she's the appropriate age for a story that takes place 10 years after the show. So, you know, maybe you use that to catch up. But no, I mean, the first season was perfect. I think it was, well, no, Haunting of Hill House was perfect. It was the second best season, I think, of television that's ever happened. Kind of frustrating that Netflix has both of them. And the second season, I think I've seen some people not have it quite as high as some other seasons, but I don't even think it's a hot take. I just have a take that apparently I'm one of the only people I've ever heard have this take. There's the episode where we meet 8, and everybody hates this episode. It's very widely hated on the internet, and I hated it too. That was the point where season 2 really, on the first watch, I was like, I don't know. This is kind of losing something for me. I don't watch season 2 in order anymore because you have this storyline where Elle and the party split, and you're like, okay, cool. And then we get the episode with 8, and 8 is all Darth Vader looking, and then she's heading back, and that's the end of the episode. And then you get what the party's doing, and the Demodogs are closing in, and like, no way we escape this, and then the dog just gets chucked psychically aside, and Elle shows up looking like Darth Vader, and you're like, sure, yeah, okay, I follow. Next. But you switch those 2 episodes. The party splits. We track what the party's doing. The dogs are closing in. Boom! The dog gets psychically rocked. Elle shows up looking like Darth Vader, and you're like, what happened? How did she become this? Cut to the episode with 8. So good. It really, really slaps. And all you got to do is just watch them out of order. And I've had other people try this, and they came back and been like, that fixed season 2 for me. So I think the first 2 episodes, or first 2 seasons, are really perfect if you just do that little bit of extra work to make it perfect for the Duffer Brothers. They should have got that right. I don't know how they missed it. I hated season 3. The first half of season 3 was my favorite Stranger Things has ever been. It was so dark and so gritty. And then the second half, they were like, let's really lean into the 80s cheese. Let's have a duet of the never-ending story while we're fighting the final boss. Let's have not quite real Arnold do his thing. Like, these are all fun things, but like, start goofy, get dark. I've been watching The Rookie on Hulu, and it starts off funny, and by the end, you're like gripping your seat, like, oh man, this is intense. And it's a great way to structure an episode. It's a great way to structure a season. Don't make it tense and then make it loose. Get more intense as the progression happens. So season 3 really, really hurt the show for me. And it took me multiple episodes of season 4 to get over it. But holy shit, did I get over it. Season 4, man. I love season 4. I think season 4 is the second best season, or the third best season. I don't know. You could put a gun in my head. I wouldn't be able to come up with an answer. But it's amazing. And then and ultimately, we're talking about 3.5 amazing seasons. And for it all to come to a close like this, it really just like, it hurts. And so maybe that's why I'm excited for more, is because if this animated show can leave a nice taste in my mouth, then maybe it recolors my whole thoughts on Stranger Things.
Nice.
I don't know.
Wow. Great take. Really great take altogether. What do you got to say, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Mike about this the other day, and I think he said it really well, is like, this is a cultural phenomenon that there haven't been many like it. Like, Stranger Things has been a constant in so many people's lives for almost 10 years now. And now we don't have it anymore. Wow. Sure, we'll have the spin-offs, we'll have all that stuff, but the main Stranger Things is done. And I think that overall, while it was topsy-turvy, like, there were some good seasons, there were some bad seasons, they did a really good job with it. And created a compelling story that we're all going to think about and remember for years. Like, this is probably something I will show to my kids one day. I honestly think so. And, you know, that's something to be proud of, I think. I'm really excited to see where these spin-offs will go. Admittedly, I don't know how much the animated ones will click, but it would be cool to see, like you guys are saying, to see some spin-offs with other characters. Like, personally, I would love to see some kind of story where Henry or Vecna was doing more behind the scenes work that we didn't know about. Could we follow some kind of serial killer in the shadows kind of story like Dexter or something like that? Just spitballing some ideas at the wall here, but that's one that came to mind. Just like, Vecna was a fascinating character to me, and I wish they would have done more with him. Not to say they did a bad job with him, I just wish there was more. So overall, yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And season 1 was a good start. Season 2 was okay. I feel differently about season 3, honestly, and it might just be a reflection of like, I think it came out in the summer that year, and it was a good summer, and I'm like, wow, that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Season 4, I don't know. Season 4 didn't hit for me.
Whoa!
And then this one,
crazy take.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, season 4, I wasn't a big fan of the Soviet prison subplot.
I thought it was the weakest part.
Yeah, it felt like filler for the most part. It kind of felt like building up, like, okay, Hop needs to eventually get out, but we need to fill the space by doing a bunch of other stuff in between. And, I mean, there was also, like, the Vecna subplot laced in between. That was the parts that I liked, but the Soviet subplot actually brought it down for me so much that, like, I just don't know, something left a bad taste in my mouth in season 4. And maybe that's a hot take, I don't know. But, and then season 5 I've kind of given my thoughts on. Like, I thought it was alright. Beautifully ended, but it's enough for me to say that this show was like 8 or 9 out of 10, honestly, as a whole for me. Like, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wow. Great thoughts. Honestly, great perspective. Looking back as a whole, you are right that this has been a cultural phenomenon. everyone knows about Stranger Things. If they haven't been watching it, it's hard to miss now. You go into the mall and everyone's like selling Stranger Things crossover stuff. Like I got a Hellfire Club shirt on right now. I've been Steve Harrington for 3 different Halloweens and 3 completely different costumes, and people always recognize who I am. It has been like a major pop culture phenomenon for us on a scale that we don't really get to see in the modern world.
I forgot about that. I shaved my head for you.
Oh yeah, dude. We should bring up the videos.
We'll have to see if we can find that.
I've got it right here, big dog.
There's media of this. There's proof of this.
Yes. Oh, I got it. Yeah, we're sharing it with the pod, everybody. That's good for the Instagram. That's going on there. I think with the show as a whole, I really love that every season felt so different. You know, season 1 to season 5 are completely unrecognizable shows. Season 1, it's perfect in its own right. I think season 2 is the weakest. Upon rewatching it, I think it's the weakest simply because it moves a lot slower than the other seasons. Contrary to Mike's thoughts, I loved 3. And I think 4 was my favorite. Probably even now, I'd say season 4 was my favorite. It just like every episode was at the level of a season finale. They didn't care about run times. Most episodes are running between an hour 20 to an hour 40. And then you had a 2.5 hour season finale. And nobody complained. We were all fine to have that much content. I feel like, if season 4 was the finale of Stranger Things and they just killed Vecna at the end and didn't have the earth split open, that would have been a satisfactory ending because of the level of epicness that it reached. Every character had a lot going on. Like they all came together and fought the most epic of battles to save the day. I thought it was an amazing season. I actually think one of my biggest qualms with the show as a whole is that they didn't kill Vecna in season 4. Because if you look at the trajectory of the show, every season brought forth a new monster, a new threat. There was this constant exploration of these new villains, right? Season 1, it was just the Demogorgon. And then season 2 was the Demodogs and the Mind Flayer. Season 3, it was the Mind Flayer, but it was a different version of it. It was taking on flesh, and it was mind controlling people. And the Russians. And then season 4 was like, the Vecna comes out, and I loved the Russians. I thought it was fun.
We are cheesy 80s villains.
Yeah, literally though. Yes. I don't mind the cheese. It's a interdimensional show
Open with Russians, bring me body horror. Just swap the order, man.
Yeah. Fair enough. Because the body horror in 3 is crazy. It's really gross. 3 is a disgusting season.
The shot in 3 where Hopper's like clearing the house with his revolver, and then he like stands in front of the light, and that shadow of Hopper gets cast on the wall.
Ooh.
Him holding the giant gun. It might be my favorite still from the whole show. I loved the first half of season 3.
Nice.
It was a fall off for me. Not a this doesn't do it as a whole.
Yeah. And I think I didn't like that. They completely changed momentum by not destroying their new monster at the end of season 4. I think season 5 would have benefited from them taking it the next step and having another threat, something bigger that was out there that was behind Vecna the whole time. So that there is, all of a sudden in season 5, we're just recycling all these old monsters. Oh, here's a Gorgon again, and here's a Demodog, and here's Vecna again. And it was like, I lost
and here's the bat. Oh.
None of the bats.
Wait. We forgot about the bats.
And so I think it lost some of its intrigue in not bringing forth new monsters and expanding what this world was, especially since we had whole new literal realms. Like we had new planets that we went to. It would have been really awesome to bring in new monsters with the new scale. And so I think they kind of missed the mark there. Overall, show as a whole, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10, maybe even like 8.59. It's still way up there. Because I think those first 4 seasons, I would still, even with the flaws of season 2, I'd say it was a 10 out of 10 show. Season 5, it just leaves that bad taste in your mouth, but it does come to a close real nicely. As far as, I'm so anti spinoffs, but if they come forth with the right pitch, I would love to see a show where it's like teams that are going into the Upside Down or into these other worlds, and making discoveries. It'd be fun to push the boundary that way. Because I think it's going to be really hard for them to recreate the magic of things coming here again. They did it so well for so long that if they try to do the same formula of, well, it's a creature from another world and it's coming here, it's like, that's not going to work. You got to change the formula for this to be effective. And I'm going to hold out to see what they're going to do with it. Overall, though, I know I'll watch it again. I'll probably watch this with my kids one day and be so excited to do it. Like I'll be happy to revisit it when I do.
100%. All right. Well, enjoy this video. I don't even remember what it is of Kyle and I on a random Halloween, and our friend Will not wearing very much in the way of clothing, as I recall.
No,
and,
we had a bodysuit. So
yeah. Welcome back to Long Distance Situationship. We got a brand new segment for you. Today, we will be entering the Rage Room.
The Rage Room.
Rage Room.
So we're just gonna take a turn. It's been a long year, and sometimes it's good to let it all out. So we're gonna take a turn. We're gonna enter into the Rage Room, and we got our topics ready, and we're gonna let loose. Maximum of 1 minute. We will be cutting each other off, and make sure it's good, boys, because we get a chance to rebut. So we're gonna let loose, and then we're gonna deal with the consequences of our uncontrolled rage. So we're gonna get it started.
Let me know when you're ready, Dan. You ready?
I'm ready to go. Let's fucking go.
3, 2, 1.
All right, drivers of the Metro Detroit area, if you're watching this, this is for you, you pieces of shit. Every single time that I go out on the road, I have to wonder if I'm going to fucking die if I'm going to reach my destination. Like, if I'm trying to turn left, there's already some asshole who's coming 6 miles up the road, 95 miles an hour, and now I can't fucking turn left. Or maybe I'm at a corner and, I'm trying to take a right, but there's an asshole coming out of the gas station full speed because he doesn't see me or he just doesn't care. Or maybe, we're driving in the snow, where you're supposed to adjust your speed limit for the fucking conditions. But instead, no, I'm going to go 80 on a 45 because I don't care about you. I don't care about myself. I'm going to end up in that ditch over there. You know what? Fucking have fun in that ditch, dude. Fucking have fun in that ditch. I am not coming to get you.
That's 50 seconds. He was in time.
Well done. Honestly, man, I drive a bike, and I completely feel where you're coming from with this, right? On my way home, I have to cross 6 mile, 7 mile, and 8 mile, and I'm just crossing the bike path. And it I will have the light, and people turning off the freeway onto 6, 7, and 8 mile will slow down and try and have me just go. And I'm like, no, if I need to know that you're going to stop before I'm willing to just venture out into the line of fire. If I hit you, oh man, you got a scratch on your car. I work in auto claims. I know how much that costs. We can get through this. If you hit me, at best, I'm probably not walking again.
Wow.
These people are insane, and all of them deserve to be locked up. It should just be me and Dan and Kyle when he's here.
I fucking love
Yay! I do gotta say, Metro Detroit is one thing. Downtown Detroit, there's literally no rules. I don't know how much you drive downtown. There's part of me that loves it because I'm like, I can just do whatever. I actually don't need to worry about it. Be on my phone, which probably means I'm one of the crazy drivers out there. But it's I hear what you're saying. You have a compelling point, Dan.
Yeah, no, for the automotive capital of the world, y'all fucking suck. I'm sorry.
It's the ego of being the automotive capital.
All right.
Who's
next?
3 stars out of 3. We'll come up with a better system later, I promise. All right. So listen, I have. Oh wait, I gotta wait for the timer. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Wait for the timer.
I mean, angry.
Keep it in your pants.
It happens to the best of us.
Why do you think I don't stand up during this podcast, Dan?
All right. And 3, 2.
So listen, I'm on this mission, right? I am rereading all the books from high school that I read and I didn't like, and I'm trying to figure out, did I not like them because they sucked? Side tangent, Frankenstein, it sucks. Same with Gatsby. Whoa. Deal with it, Sabrina. But right now, I'm working through Huck Finn, and they're trying to take Huck Finn off of school shelves. And listen, I don't like Huck Finn. This is not my book. Although Elijah Wood is really crushing the narration. Anyway, I've noticed this phenomenon with portrayals of bigotry in a lot of our modern stories, and we're trying to remove older stories that have really real freaking bigotry in them, and it makes us not realize how good we have it now. I'm not trying to say there's no racism now, but like, as I'm reading through Huck Finn, some of the things that Huck's dad say, I'm a white guy and I'm still like, oh, this hurts my soul. And if we get rid of this, if we get rid of this touchstone to the past, we won't understand how far we've come as people, and we won't be able to appreciate that we at least are getting better. And we still have work to do. Don't hear what I'm not saying, but good Lord, stop getting rid of portrayals of bigotry and stop showing overly accepting portrayals of the past, because that's not how it was, and it affects our ability to grow in the future.
You were way over time, but I want to let you finish that thought. I was like, I'm not going to cut him off as all he explains is that there's racism in Huck Finn. And they'd be like, nope, you're done. It's like, okay, I'm going to let him get this out. That's really interesting, though. You do have a good point in the sense that we can't forget. It's like Django Unchained. Like, that movie is brutal to watch. And people were like, Tarantino's racist. And it's like, no, he's not. He's actually making sure you guys take a real hard look at what all of us white fuckers were up to, like, not that long ago. So, like,
Don't lump us in with it. Like,
hey, my family moved in post-slavery, so it was all of you guys, all right? I looked up my lineage. I wasn't here until the 1890s,
well,
bitch.
I'm German.
My soul's guilt-free.
It's not slavery that we have to deal with, all right?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mike. That must be really hard for you.
We lost, man. We lost the war.
Oh, boy.
For the most Polish, there's it's the internal struggle.
It's like, yeah.
Duality of man.
There's probably a good story there, though. Forbidden love. You can probably write about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and also just in general, like, I see these TV shows that smooth over, like, the reports that I've heard of what it was like, and it's like, well, yeah, like, it's good that we show representation of people being good, but don't act like it's the norm in a time when we all know it wasn't. It bothers me. It bothers me. I think it's exactly what you're saying with Django. It's important that we have media portray it accurately. And maybe you have a hero who's like, oh yeah, like Huck Finn is a hero who's like, yeah, me and we'll call him Mr. Jim. I won't quote the book. Me and Jim, we're gonna run off together. We're gonna be friends, and it doesn't matter. But like, that wasn't the norm. It's this one character who's cool with a black guy, not like everybody's just on board, you know?
My brain just went to thinking about, like, being in Oklahoma. I've learned a lot about, like, some of the horrifying racist things that have happened down here that were, like, never taught to me in schools. It's actually very interesting that, I mean, there's a whole area of Tulsa called Black Wall Street. Have you guys heard about that? Where, like, I mean, I'm trying to remember what instigated it, but there was a street where a basic community that was developing for all African-American people, and like a bunch of Klansmen got real mad about it and showed up and literally just burnt the place to the ground. That like I'm butchering these numbers, but a ton of people were killed. They were dropping grenades from airplanes. Like they literally demolished the community, killed a ton of people, a ton of lynchings, and then everybody just moved on. And I remember in school never hearing about something like that. And down here, it's like pinnacle history. And so it is kind of, I hear a point, Mike, that it's like, well, I mean, I would have had a wider perspective growing up had I known about some of these things. But I also see, I guess I see from like the perspective of the school system,
Right.
government being like, Maybe we shouldn't talk about that part. Maybe we should just let that part lie.
Don't put us in with them.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it is interesting. We do need to like look at these things so that we are aware of where improvement is needed, because it ain't a perfect world.
But also, like, I'm working out, right? And like, I'll take pictures, and I can look back and see where I was, and I can see these incremental improvements because of a lot of pictures taken over time. But if you wipe it out and it's just what I have now and the body dysmorphia kicks in and I'm fat, right? Like you need touchstones to see progress. That's how it works. And we can't lose those. So Dan, what are your thoughts on racism?
Yeah. Tell us the deets, buddy.
Like, I honestly think that's a reasonable point. I mean, like, how could you know that chocolate cake tastes good if you've never had to eat shit? Like, there is a difference.
That's a great line, actually. I like that a lot. That's good.
Yeah, like, you put up a good point that you need to have that there so we have a point of reference. I mean, I think that makes sense. Like, yep.
All right, after that very cheerful experience, Kyle.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Count me in.
2, 1.
All right, AI. We're living in the fucking time of Skynet and no one's fucking talking about it, all right? I understand that ChatGPT is all the shit, but do you understand how it's infecting the minds of all of our fucking children? This is not a good thing. You would know if it was good if AI was in our fucking traffic lights, helping make our lives easier. If AI was in our fucking video games, so we had NPCs we could actually talk to and interact with. But no, AI is going towards how do we get work done without having to pay humans to do the work? How do we replace artists and replace graphic designers and movie makers? And there's entire commercials that would pay people in my industry thousands of dollars that are now being entirely done by AI. And they're investing more and more money into it. And people are like, yeah, AI is the shit. And it's like, wake the fuck up, people. This is your replacement. We are living in a goddamn sci-fi dystopian fucking film, and this thing is taking over. And I understand that there are certain benefits, but they're not investing in the real benefits for the people. They're investing in ways to replace the people so that the ones on top can stay at the top and the ones at the bottom can be replaced. And we are living in that fucking reality.
Wow.
Dan, you want to start?
But that's none of my business.
Yeah, man, like, I kind of like this take because, like, fucking nerds are making it so AI is going to be used for boring shit first. No, like, I agree with you. There are so many more applications that we're not even looking at. Instead, we're investing it in weird places. I mean, I look at my own workplace where we're talking about using Copilot, right? Mm-hmm. And right now, we can only use it for the stupidest things. Like, okay, can you read me my emails as, like, a voice dictation? We're not allowed to take notes, just in case legal liability. I'm like, what the hell is the point of having it? Like, I can read my own emails to myself. I don't need a machine to read it to me. Like,
oh.
What are your thoughts, Mike?
So listen, I think there are some examples where it's really good, Kyle. I think there are some podcasts that don't have the money to pay graphic designers, and you should really chill out about this. But, coming from a non-production side, I totally agree with you. It's a problem. I love me some ChatGPT. I use that shit for everything. There's a lot of really good benefits, and there's a lot of really good help for creative people. But you're right. I mean, I saw the Coke commercial where I was like, I wasn't even paying attention, and then like the polar bear walked by, and I was like, motherfucker, that's a AI polar bear. And it like, and it's
Coke
not
commercial,
even
yes.
like a good AI polar bear. Like the blind guy out of the corner of his eye could tell you that was AI. Like it's unacceptable. And like you're right. And you want to talk about like how it's not being used for gaming. Have you heard about where graphics cards are going now? RAM and graphics cards are all getting funneled. Like big producers of like RAM and graphics card for PC and for consoles realized we can make so much more money if we sell directly to AI. And so like the price of a PC is going to skyrocket now because where are you going to get the RAM? Where are you going to get the graphics card? The artificial shortage is already starting because the artificial intelligence is eating all the components. So like it's hitting you from every side. And personally, I am all about some retro gaming, so I'm cool with it, but I'm the weird one here, and people do need to be more upset about this.
Yeah. If I may, I don't have my time, but I just spent time with Kayleen's brother and his wife, and they both work in the school system, and we're very much talking about how so many kids nowadays they can literally take a picture of their homework, put it into AI or ChatGPT or something, say answer these questions to get, or so much of homework is digital now anyway, so they're able to just like copy and paste it and like get all of their answers done for them. And the school system doesn't really even care. Like kids are like eating this thing up and are no longer learning how to think for themselves. And it's, I don't mean to have my tinfoil hat on, but like, I don't think the government hates that. I don't think they mind people becoming more like sheep and being unable to think for themselves, but rather have to think through the fucking robot that they can control and monitor. But at the same time, I mean, Mike, if you don't mind me saying, like, I know that you used ChatGPT in a very therapeutic way for a long time to like have an outlet to talk back and forth with that remembered everything you had to say and was able to analyze, kind of like the things you were saying and doing.
I would journal. I would
like,
have these huge journal entries that I could plug in and get like detailed analysis on in seconds.
And I think that's kind of incredible. Like, I think that's a really inspiring story about like ChatGPT and a way that AI can be used in a very like beautiful, profound way. But it's like, it's just the mass use unmonitored, that where it's just allowing the people to get stupider and stupider. And, it really upsets me. It's wild how many sci-fi dystopian movies we are living through right now. We are like, it's all these things that we thought were crazy concepts. We are now like living through tenfold, and it's a crazy time to be.
But on the plus side, if none of the new generations learn how to think, we become one of the last marketable generations. Maybe we clean up a little bit and let these idiots just like live in their filth.
Yep. Way ahead of you, buddy. Way ahead of you. I do gotta say, I cannot wait for the day that they put AI into video games like Red Dead Redemption, and you've got your headset on and you're able to talk to a character and that character, and you develop a real fucking like. That's almost scary how interesting that's gonna be, because why hang out with some your boring human wife when you could go on a cowboy adventure with your real AI friends. Like, there's something very fascinating about that.
Forget cowboys, and why risk the like petrifying fear of having to approach a woman when you can customize your own like freaking dimensions and then put whatever mind you want into it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, and because there's another serious thing that I keep seeing like being joked about on the internet, but I think is coming in fast, and that is people falling in love and marrying.
No, it's
AI
gonna
programs.
happen.
That Joaquin Phoenix movie,
like
her,
yes, but like, and now I don't know if you've seen, but officially, like, robots to do chores around your house are going live. So it's like we are now having physical robots in houses. They are now able to have thinking minds for their own. Literally, like you said, people are too afraid to go talk to real people, but you can have a robot that'll just say yes to whatever you say and make you feel validated and heard all the time. Like, of course people are going to want to marry that instead of deal with the real person. That's terrifying as well. That's fucking crazy, guys. It's like, it's funny. I think about, the memes I keep seeing are like about how, parents of our generation were like, oh, there's no way my kid's going to be gay. And we're going to be the parents that are like, there's no way my kid's marrying a robot. But dad, everyone's doing it. like, it's going to, but like, I'm standing my ground. You are not marrying if you're marrying a fucking AI, then I did something wrong.
Oh my goodness. Well, again, another way to view it though, if more and more of these guys are just falling in love with their AI girlfriends, it's not bad for us single folks. Just saying.
I do like that take. I do stand by that take of like, it kind of makes it better for the rest of us that do still have brains, because we are all of a sudden a lot more appealing. And hey, and look, our generation will inherit the earth one of these days from all these shitty Gen Zers.
No, they're below us. No. It's the boomers.
The boomers.
So
the boomers.
My mom's really into the whole like the stack up of the different generations. She's Gen X. Their whole thing is to just sit back and watch the world burn and make snide comments, apparently. But she's like, yeah.
Wow, thanks a lot for that,
I can
guys.
live with snide comments, but she's like, dude, there is so much money and so much property that's tied up into this like this boomer bubble that's like they're just trying to dodge the property gains taxes on how much these houses have gone up in value, and sooner or later they're just gonna start dropping like flies, and like it's gonna be really interesting. I'm not an economist or anything of that nature, but it'll be really interesting over the next like 10 years to see what happens as that generation starts to really phase out.
Yep.
And where all that money goes.
I mean, what these things are good times and bad times are cyclical, right? Like it's throughout history, it's like, oh, it's really hard and then it gets great. And I feel like for the most part, our generation is going through tough times, like across the board. Nobody in our generation is really like thriving unless you're fucking Timothy Chalamet or somebody. But like, I'm very interested to see kind of the comeback of our generation where something snaps, something breaks, and all of a sudden it's good times, and our generation gets to, like you said, inherit all of these things that have kind of been withheld for us for as long as possible.
And also, when you look at the cycle, it's like you got the Depression, you got World War II.
Yeah.
We lose the war, but like America does really well as a result. That's a throwback to me being German. And like good times came out of bad times. So like we can put up with this. People have put up with more, and like you just got to remember your history.
I completely agree. That's what keeps me going when I get freaked out about the world. It's like, nope, people have always thought the world's ending, and it doesn't. The times get better. All you got to do is persevere and not lose your fucking mind in the meantime. Despite the fact that we've gone through COVID and we've gone through all sorts of we've gone through a lot of crazy events in not a lot of time.
You really think
so
COVID was
real? All breaks. Hey, we had to live through it one way or another. One way or another, we had to live through that shit, and it rocked our generation.
Yeah. I mean, we got rocked.
I could have rage roomed.
I remember the episode back when you guys were doing the Four Horsemen pod where you had your brother on when he was right out of high school. And like, man, they got rocked
no prom,
so much harder.
No homecoming, I think I could do a whole rage room about how much the service industry has gone from putting the customer first to putting the customer last through COVID. Do you remember pre-COVID, everywhere was open all night long and you could just go get a fucking cheap snack wrap or whatever from McDonald's or go to Taco Bell or whatever at 3 a.m. and it was all the same. And then after COVID, since COVID, everything's like closing early. Every menu item is like you're getting less, but it all costs more. Like I feel like in the post-COVID era, the customer really comes last, and there's something we can do about it. And that also infuriates.
Learn to cook. I was talking to Paul about how he was like, dude, for like $3 more than a Big Mac meal, I can make a steak dinner now. And Paul and I will send us pictures when we make really killer meals. And he sent me a picture of a steak dinner one time. And I was like, dude, for that kind of money, you could have got a Big Mac. What are you doing? Like,
I mean, I like Culver's, but I also don't like going to Culver's and looking at the bill and being like, wow, man, a sandwich, fries, and a drink just cost me $19.27. Like,
yeah, it's insane. Jeez, you have the sense.
I remember those things.
Me and Kayleen had a lot of McDonald's on our 30-hour road trip from, and I remember one time we stopped. I desperately wanted a good McDonald's breakfast. I love the McDonald's breakfast, and it's supposed to end at 11. We get there at 10:57, and they're not serving breakfast anymore. And I was throwing the biggest hissy fit. I was ready to drive off. I was like, why the fuck are we here? And then we order. The other thing we love to order is a double cheeseburger, which is on the McValue menu, and a McChicken, which is on the McValue menu. And you combine them into a McGangbang and eat them as one, and it is perfect. On the McValue menu, it's buy one, get the second one for $1. So we ordered 2 of these for us, and I see on the menu they didn't drop the second one to $1, so I call them out. I'm like, hey, is that supposed to be $1? And they're like, oh, we don't do the McValue menu here. And I fucking snapped because I was like, I literally had a moment where we had placed the order. It was like $25. It was food we didn't even fucking want because it wasn't breakfast. And I almost sped off. And then I got the food. And I swear I was grumpy for 15 minutes, probably because I was also
and you were hungry
too long. But Kayleen was like, calm down. And I was like, no, you know what? McDonald's just butt fucked the both of us. And I sat there and didn't drive off. I sat there and didn't stick out my finger because I was polite. What if it killed me that my politeness allowed me to get used and abused like that. And I don't know what I'm talking about now. I was raging. Kayleen's like, Kyle, we probably paid $2 more than we normally do. And I was like, that's not the point. It's the principle. They were supposed to make breakfast till 11 anyway. And here we are eating food we don't even want for way too much fucking money. Anyway.
Oh, no, this is great. This is gold. Honestly, Rage Room has closed in on 28 minutes. I think we can just re-release Rage Room separately and get 2 pods out of one.
I fucking love it.
I might even get Kayleen to just tell you guys how hard I crashed out.
I'm picturing you in the car.
I was just grumpy. I was like, What if it was fucking Nazis that showed up to our house and were like, why don't you come with us to this fun place called a concentration camp? And I was just trying to be polite. So I was like, oh, sure, let's go. Well, I don't want to be rude. So let's just, I was like,
if
she's
there
like,
had been more
Kyle,
people like you, we might have won the war.
But I was just like, I just sat there and I let McDonald's fuck us like that. Like I sat there and watched. I watched them do it to the love of my life. They fucked both of us right before my eyes.
You thought you were ordering a McGangbang, and you were.
And I got gangbang, dude. And like, and it was funny because we were working outside today, and I was trying to hammer something, and I dropped a little bolt. Or a little a nut, and I couldn't find it for like 10 minutes, and it was the only one that fit. And I was raging out there, and I was like, for fuck's sake, this McDonald's all over again, man. Who ordered the fucking McDonald's out here? So anyway, McDonald's has been a stain on my heart now for how they treat us. Pre-COVID, never would have happened. They cared about the people back then, but this post-COVID era. Anyway, that's my take. I got to cut myself off because I could just rage for way too long, and I could see I'm still going, and I need to stop. So I'm going to chill the fuck out about it. Can't change it. I just have to accept that McDonald's, they got to fuck me. All right, come on, get down. I'm over it.
Oh, man. I just like rotate my chair and Kyle's hoisting a dog.